I just wanted to read you this article right quick. This is an update from 5:43 UK time, Monday, September 9th, 2013. It says Historic Damascus in Grave Danger by Andrew Wilson, Sky News in Damascus, a news presenter there. The only real sign that Damascus is under siege is the traffic. Line upon line of frustrated drivers hemmed in by the city's seemingly endless army checkpoints. That and the bang of artillery shells fired out into the suburbs to keep the rebels at bay. But Damascus, the oldest and most continually inhabited city in the world, is in grave danger on land from an increasingly violent collaboration of militia funded and motivated by a bewildering mix of agendas. From within, by the most complicated and unpredictable regime on the planet, and from further afield, by the most powerful armed forces on the planet, whose commander-in-chief has decided once and for all to take a stand and wade in with the frightening technological arsenal at his disposal. Even worse, it is not entirely clear who of these three has the least understanding of the situation. 2 years ago, the rebellion in Syria was, if not coherent, at least a popular representation of the hopes and fears of a disenfranchised sector of the Syrian people. Not any longer when the people of Damascus tell you that it is Al Qaeda knocking at the gates of their city. They are not far wrong. And when the Syrian generals failed to bomb those popular uprisings into submission, also 2 years ago, they haven't really produced any kind of Plan B since. They remain in their bases in the capital, probably wondering more about their own eventual survival than any strategic way forward. And now that President Obama has finally identified a war crime on the wrong side of his own red line, it seems that a cartoon-like oversimplification of what he should do next is the only narrative he can take to Congress. Syrians are now sandwiched in most unfair and ugly way between the forces of chaos on the top and the immovable stubbornness of an outdated regime on the bottom. For the most part, their plea to the West is that of a multi-ethnic secular society that embraces the peace and harmony of living together that no other Arab nation has come close to matching. And they have a point. But when vast swatches of the country took to the streets to call for a better way of life, they chose to ignore them. That mistake has ushered in the potential for chaos that could sweep aside the missile strikes of the world's policemen and drag the Middle East into a much darker place than anyone yet has cared to really consider. I thought I would read you that because it's so true. You know, I do believe that Al Qaeda are the rebels. And over to the left here, just real quick, since that was a fairly short article. Syria, U.S. politicians to debate military action. There is some video here. I'm not going to play it. I'll give you the link and you can go and listen to it for time's sake. But the article, real quick, just says U.S. politicians are set to discuss backing for military action against Syria as President Barack Obama prepares to make a series of TV appearances to push his case. Congress will start debating the issue today and are expected to vote later this week on whether to, on whether to authorize force against the Syrian regime in retaliation for an alleged chemical weapons attack that killed more than 1,400 civilians in Damascus. While the White House believes an endorsement from the Senate could be within reach, Mr. Obama faces a wall of opposition from both Republicans and from many of his Democratic allies in the House of Representatives. The White House has refused to state whether Mr. Obama, elected in 2008, promising to end foreign wars, would order a strike even if Congress says no or votes no. In a determined final effort for military backing, Mr. Obama is due to appear on 6 U.S. TV networks today ahead of delivering a live address to a nation on Tuesday. Secretary of State John Kerry is also looking to boost support for action when he holds talks with British Foreign Secretary William Hague in London this morning. So anyway, it goes on to say, speaking in Paris at a news conference before he left for London, Mr. Kerry said 12 countries were now prepared to take military action against Syria. Those states would make their own announcements within 24 hours, he added. He did not rule out returning to the UN Security Council to secure a Syrian resolution once UN inspectors complete their report on the alleged chemical weapons attack on August 21st. French President Hollande, who is increasingly under pressure to seek a UN mandate before any military intervention in Syria, suggested that he could seek a resolution of the Security Council despite previous Russian and Chinese vetoes. Mr. Kerry said on President Hollande's comments with respect to the UN, the President Barack Obama and all of us are listening carefully to all of our friends. No decision has been made by the President. Meanwhile, Syrian President Bashar Assad has thanked Russian President Vladimir Putin for his support in talks with world leaders at last week's G20 summit. Mr. Assad also denied he was behind the alleged chemical attacks in an interview to U.S. television network CBS. CBS correspondent Charlie Rose, who interviewed Mr. Assad in Damascus, said the most important thing, as he says, is that there's no evidence that I used chemical weapons against my own people. The Speaker of Syria's parliament, Mohammed Jihad at Laham, told Sky News that a U.S. attack would result in the country retaliating with all available force. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. In the UK, former Defence Secretary Liam Fox told Sky's Murdogan program on Sunday that there was a case for another Commons vote in the light of the wider evidence that is now available. He said the debate has been about the coincidence or consequences of intervention, but there wasn't enough debate, I don't feel, about the consequences of non-intervention. If we believe the regime in Syria still has chemical weapons, and if, as many of us think, the opposition may also have access to chemical weapons, and we send the signal that they can use them in impunity, what does that mean for safety of the ordinary people of Syria? U.S. Secretary of State Kerry and British Foreign Secretary William Hague are due to give a news conference at the Foreign Office in London this morning at 9:15 a.m. Excuse me. And you can watch that on Sky News. And I'm going to leave you the link. And I thank you for watching. I'm sorry about my voice. Y'all know I've been a little bit under the weather the last few days. But hopefully it's going to get better. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. God bless you. I love you. Keep watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. It's now 4:46 a.m. and September 9th, 2013. And this little girl's going to bed soon. I hope, but things just keep coming up, and I don't want to let you guys down. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.